Welcome to Nissan Stadium, home of the National Football League's biggest game of Week 7. Undefeated Tennessee, undefeated Pittsburgh. We're 80 minutes away. It's time for your live look in with Amie Wells. I'm Mike Keith. Excitement on what is a gray day. For only the 8th time in NFL history, unbeatens meet in Week 7 or later. 5-0 Tennessee hosts 5-0 Pittsburgh.
Mike Keith, you can just feel the excitement in the air here. I've been feeling it in Nashville all week. People are fired up about this contest today, and I think it's going to be a battle worth watching.
Healthy football teams overall, no surprises in the inactives. We'll start with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We knew that Mike Hilton and Derek Watt were already out. Joshua Dobbs is their third quarterback. He wasn't going to play today. Two young offensive linemen, Carlos Davis and Derwin Gray, down. Third tight end, Zach Gentry, down. And a backup defensive lineman, Isaiah Buggs, also down. So the Steelers, no surprises with their inactives overall. Today, they are a healthy football team, and they will be ready for the Titans as you get a look at their place kicker, Chris Boswell, who has not missed a kick this year. He is 7 for 7 on field goals. Moving to the Titans and their inactives. Tennessee right now with 54 players on the roster, so they only have to go down 6 to get to 48. Joshua Kalu, Derek Roberson, David Long Jr., maybe a little bit of a surprise, but they're staying with Will Compton and also Darren Bates, who are better overall special teams players. Backup offensive lineman Daniel Munyer and Isaiah Wilson, and backup defensive lineman Matt Dickerson. The Titans only at 54 players because they did not activate Adoree Jackson after he had practiced this week. They determined he's not ready to play. Some people surprised, but I think the bottom line is they don't want to take a chance with Adoree Jackson for the rest of the season, knowing this is just one game.
Absolutely. It's still early enough in the season that there's a lot of football left to be played, and Adoree Jackson's a guy that you want 100% able to go on the field. So sometimes they say when he feels like he thinks he's 100%, give him another week. That may be what we're seeing right now.
Well, the key for the Titans was they knew they needed 30 to 40 plays out of Adoree Jackson if he was going to be able to help them today. If you weren't confident that you could get that many plays, better to keep up Chris Jackson and wait another week. Hopefully Adoree will be ready to go at the start of November when the Titans play next Sunday in Cincinnati. One thing we know today, the Titans must get after Pittsburgh quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, who in his 17th year is playing the best football of his career. It's Beasley, it's Clowney, it's Landry.
Absolutely it is, and this is what Titans fans have been wanting to see. We've been waiting for guys like Vic Beasley and Jadeveon Clowney to make some of those big plays, to have those breakout games against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have a lot of offensive weapons, and also Ben Roethlisberger back there. This would be a great time to hit him and hit him a lot.
Yeah, and Roethlisberger is not as mobile as he once was. He's still hard to get on the ground at 6'5", 240. Clowney had a good week of practice. Landry's played well all year and has a sack and a half, but Beasley might be the guy to watch. Probably had his best week of practice as a Titan. A guy who's got to be good today, Ty Sambrailo. Sambrailo will get the start at left offensive tackle in place of Taylor Lewan. This guy was a second-round pick. He played for the Falcons. He is making his 14th start in the NFL, but only his 4th start at left tackle. Got to be big today.
Yes, and while he's not a name that a lot of Titans fans are familiar with, of course Taylor Lewan is a name that everyone was familiar with. Ty Sambrailo has played a lot of football in this league. This is not going to be the first time that he's out on the field. He's played for the Titans. He's played well for the Titans. And this is his chance to shine. This is his chance to show what he can do. And I think that Titans fans should be confident in that decision because, let's face it, Mike Vrabel's not going to put someone in a position to fail.
Well, the bottom line, too, is you're not going to replace Lewan. Best left tackle in football. You're going to put a guy in his spot, and you might have to do some different things not having him. Lewan due to have his surgery on the ACL this coming week. Good news about another Titan today, especially against a Steeler defense that lacks Devin Bush. and that is Jonnu Smith is good to go. Jonnu Smith didn't play in the second half last week, did practice. I think they feel like his ankle is in a good enough place.
Yeah, last week we saw him with an ankle injury. He really wanted to go back in the second half of that game. He spent the entire second half testing that ankle, working on it. He just didn't feel confident enough that he could do what he needed to do out on the field against the Houston Texans. So having him back this week is going to be a huge benefit for this Titans offense. Gives them another weapon and a guy with some sure hands.
Can Anthony Firkser do it again like he did last Sunday?
Gosh, wouldn't it be fun if he did? That was so much fun to watch Anthony Firkser have over 100 receiving yards. What a great day for him. It would be great if he could do it again and really be involved in the game plan.
Titans actually keeping 4 tight ends up. We told you about Jonnu. There you see what Firkser did last week against Houston. Michael Pruitt back from the COVID-19 reserve. But the Titans also keeping 87 Jeff Swaim up again. Liked what he has given them in the last 2 games with the versatility, so that's a big deal. Titans also get Corey Davis back at wideout, and that is huge.
Awesome, awesome, awesome to have that versatility for Ryan Tannehill. He's got so many different options to choose from on this Titans offense, which is what makes it so much fun for him. But having so many tight ends is also going to help not only in the receiving effort, but in the blocking effort, especially with a guy like Taylor Lewan is not going to be out there. Tyson Brylow could probably use a little extra help. Those guys can handle it.
We mentioned that Jeff Swaim is going to get a start, or is going to get a chance to play tight end today with the 4 tight ends up, and so that's a little bit of a different look for the Titans. Let's move to another returnee, and I'm talking about Dane Cruikshank. Cruikshank, the third-year safety who is out of Arizona, has not played this season, but he's back for one big reason, and that is what he provides on special teams.
Well, and special teams have been such a big part of this Titans team all season. Being able to have another guy who can contribute, who is a known playmaker in that phase of the game, can only help this Titans team.
Third straight week that the Titans face a quality returner. Andre Roberts, the Pro Bowler from Buffalo, and last weekend, DeAndre Carter from the Houston Texans. Today it is Ray McLeod who can really scoot, so a guy like Cruikshank has to be big. Speaking of scooting, how about Derrick Henry? Can he help the Titans run the football today against a team that is giving up just 64 yards rushing per game? If Henry's got to do it, he's got to hit it and get it.
Yeah, Mike Keith, I don't think Derrick Henry's doing much scooting. I think he is mauling people. He is running over people, and that's what we need to see him do today. We need to see him get started and really be that physical big presence on the field, just wear people out.
The Steelers have changed punters. Dustin Colquitt gone. Jordan Berry, the Australian who kicked the last 5 years for Pittsburgh, is back. Khalif Raymond, does he have a chance to bring back a punt? Does he have a chance to bring back a kickoff, as Chris Boswell does not hit the end zone with every kick?
Khalif Raymond is another one of those guys who you feel like you've seen him get so close so many times. You feel like he's right on the cusp of breaking a really, really big one, taking it all the way back to the house. Today would be a good day for that, as the Titans need to score a lot of points against the Steelers.
Well, and you got to score a lot of different ways. You need short fields. You need opportunities, especially in the return game. You certainly could use some takeaways and to win the turnover battle. It is hard to drive the ball on these Steelers. They have 24 quarterback sacks to lead the NFL, on pace to set an NFL record, and they have 42 tackles for loss. Now think about that. They average 8 tackles for loss per game. That is a fantastic total. Hard to drive it. Short field's one of the keys for the Titans today against the Steelers. Again, only the 8th time in the 101-year history of the National Football League that unbeaten teams have met in Week 7 of a season or later. Mike Vrabel actually played in 2 of those games. He will coach in one today against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We invite you to hear all of the action wherever you are right now on Titans Radio in Nashville. That's 104.5 The Zone. We're on the air in 9 minutes.
We got to go.
We got to go. We got to get with it. We're glad that you joined us for this live look in. For Amie Wells, I'm Mike Keith. Thanks to our fine staff for bringing this to you. And let's tighten up, everybody.